Evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is Wednesday, another preview as we face Harrogate away. Going to be a tough game. Of course, if you are new, please do subscribe. Please like if you do enjoy the stream. And obviously, if you're watching this on the replay, leave your score predictions and thoughts of the game in the comments. And of course, if you are watching us live, thanks for joining again. Get your comments in and questions. Smash the like button. But yeah, we'll get into it. Starting off with the game on Saturday. Rovers losing 3-1 at home. Of course, Dom Telford comes back to haunt us, scoring 2 goals. Could have easily had 3 or 4 goals. And then Baker Richardson with a goal. And obviously the Port Pipe Pele again, 3-3. Great goal. Hardly had any chances, but when he did, he's always going to score. But going with you, Neil, first. What was your thoughts on the game and the way we played, and also the lineup again?
Well, yeah, lineup again. It was pretty much the same as when I spoke to you at Colchester. I said I'm not too sure about this because he's absolutely pumped all his attacking players into one side, crowbarred them in there, and I hated the look of Evans in there, with Whelan, but it worked out all right for him at Colchester because you saw plenty of the ball. Their press was terrible. They let us have it. And I said on the Wednesday, Newport won't let you do that with 5 across the middle. And I'm amazed he went with it, to be honest, because it played out exactly as I thought it would do. Just got absolutely bossed in there because you can't play, basically 5-6 attacking players on one side and be that vulnerable without the ball, because pretty much whenever we lose the ball, the next time we see it is either Belly making a save, a goal kick, or we kick off. That's basically what happened. So he's gone gung-ho with all his attacking players, thinking that we're going to absolutely just go hell for leather at them and get a lead, which has never happened this season. Our first half performances have been awful.
Yeah.
It played out as I thought it would, to be honest. I mean, the warning signs were there early with Whelan heading one off the line.
Yeah.
We never got a foothold in the game because they were quite happy to just absolutely boss us physically. Evans in there, he's not in. He can't do that. You can't have no protection in front of that back three. And basically, you had Whelan, who's coming off of 3 games in a week at 37. Looked dead on his feet, man, and just no protection there. And the writing was on the wall early. The goal that we conceded first has come from a throw in out wide that I think they had 3 men out there. You've sent Collins out there to deal with 3. No one else has gone with him. They've set the ball back out again. And, you mentioned it the other week. Anderton's, seen Milk turn quicker. He's ran past him, fed it through the middle, 1-0. And then you're up against it, 1-0 down again, first half, poor performance. Second half, Belly's had one of his kicks. It ain't gone to nowhere. Normally his distribution is pretty good. But the ball's dropped. He's still 45 yards out. No one squeezed him. He's played it right back from where the first goals come from. Anderton's ball watching again. And Telford's got all the time in the world to flick it up round the corner. And, that's 2-0. And then you've got a mountain to climb. It's just your typical first half performance from us. Yeah. I think if you was to weigh that game up as a whole, we played well for 10 minutes, I reckon. Start of the second half, had a bit of a push. And then Newport found their feet again. Got that solid 5 in there. Made life difficult. Made it horrible for us. We just couldn't get out. We couldn't do anything. And it just petered out. I mean, the third goal is what I said to you about Connor Taylor the other week. Is sooner or later he's going to peter out at 19. He's not going to be that good every single week. And I think he's had to deal with Cook, Newball, and obviously Richards on Saturday.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he's lost them battles with them airily. He's been brilliant for us, but those last 3 games, he looked like he's really dipped a little bit and sort of not been as good as he was. And Saturday he's got a big lad to deal with again. So he's got to snap out of that because Armstrong for them's not going to be easy for him either.
No.
Saturday was just another one of them. Game was dead in the first half due to the fact that I just think we was naive the way we set up. We should have left. You turn around and look at our bench to change something. You've got nothing because you've absolutely blitzed it.
Yeah.
I just think, I give Barton credit when he does something I think is a good decision, but Saturday, he's decided to play his hand early and gone all out with all his attacking players. And he thought it was a good thing to do against Colchester. And it probably was. Played right. Different kettle of fish, Newport.
Yeah, different. It's different.
And we had a job done on us. Simple as that. We just had a job done on us.
Yeah.
I wasn't shocked, to be honest. As soon as I saw it at 2 o'clock, I thought we're going to be in for an hard day here.
Yeah. It's just again, and it's so annoying. But thanks to everyone tuning in. We got Juan, Mats, Kai, Chris, and Louis, and everyone else. Keep getting your questions in. We'll answer them. Hit the like button as well. Quickly, we'll get onto this question in a sec. Quickly go to Benji first. What did you make of it? Of course, the lineup first, and then the general game and the way we performed.
I think Neil hit the head on with the lineup. Actually, I thought that when we watched the Colchester game, I loved Evans in there. He was great. He surprised us. But then Colchester invite the pressure. They're a team that are there for the taking. I thought it was a good idea to continue with that. I stand corrected. Neil was right. Evans in there was the wrong decision. You're asking him to do a complete different job against a flat physical. Fatter sort of midfield line with Newport, are a much physical team, and they're going to get at you more than Colchester. So you stifle his creative talents. So it won't come as a surprise to you to learn that I've changed my lineup prediction for Harrogate. But in terms of the game, I thought we were too deep. We invited so much pressure. We're at home. Barton was right when he said we haven't earned the right to make Mem the fortress it should be. That's because we don't play that way, and it's just negative. Again, there's a bit more of this hesitancy, slow build-up play that we saw from in recent games creeping in, and which don't play to our strengths at all. And again, the team setup was wrong as well.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. Like how easy we are to play against, and it's because the way he sets up the team. Like you cannot expect like Newport. Newport are a good team. They're always set up the same way. It's so easy. Like when you're talking with fans, like everyone says the same thing, but for some reason Barton doesn't see it. Like Newport, they're going to be a tough team, well organized, and then with us, they just come. Obviously, like I said on the reaction, 3 of the last 4 home games, we've lost 3-1, conceded 9 goals. It is just, I don't get how it's weird. It like away from home, like especially the last few games, we've been playing a lot better. Obviously, Bradford, it was only a half, but most of the last few games, we've played a lot better, and he's gone like more attacking. But at home, it's just. He tried going attacking again. It's never going to work against Newport. And like Neil said, when you're playing Whelan like 3 times in a week, 37, and just relying on him to sit in front, and you're playing Evans, who's an attacking midfielder or a left mid or a winger, it's just never going to work. And it's just annoying me so much how easy it is to play against. It's like it takes us, because we're so slow coming out the back, it takes us so long to get up the pitch. In Newport, 1 or 2 passes, they were through on goal. And, it could have been, again, more than 3 goals again. And, yeah, it's just so frustrating. Mitch says, you guys seen Sam Frost thing saying Barton going? Well, I haven't seen that, but we'll get on to Barton in a bit. But yeah, quickly going on this comment from Louis Vincent. Starting off with you, Neil. What's your thoughts on Aaron Collins? Because obviously we spoke about it, saying that he's obviously not got confidence. But what do you think? What do you think he could do better, or do you let him go on the bench again, or what? Because it's hard, isn't it, with Collins? Because he works hard. It's just nothing's coming off for him.
There's definitely a player in Collins. There's definitely a player in there. It's just not come up for him yet. I think I was saying to you the other week, just got to hope something comes in off of him. It goes in off his ass or anything. He just needs that rubber to green, because there's definitely a player in there. It's just that he's caught between a rock and a hard place at the minute. He doesn't really know. He looks confused in his instructions. He's sort of out wide. He's coming in. He's playing off of Pittman. He doesn't really know what his role is, to be honest. And to be honest, if I'd persevere with him, bringing him out the side is going to do him no good whatsoever. I'd leave him up there with Pittman. I'd just say, do what comes naturally to you. Float into pockets, be high energy, pressure fullbacks, and just wait for your chance to come. I just don't think taking him out the side is going to do him any good in the long run. I'd persevere with him, to be honest. I like Collins. There's definitely a player in there. Just ain't come off for him, is it, a minute?
Yeah. Got a comment. Yambi Sim says, I've decided now on 2 p.m. Saturday, if we have a back three, I'm banging a fiver on Rovers to lose. Yeah, it's frustrating because like we'll get onto it more, but because he still doesn't know his best team by the looks of it. Like, again, there's always changes, and he's not confident in a lineup. It'll just like even Newport, like we've done pretty poor playing three at the back, and obviously, I mean, even I know a lot of us wanted to, but he just don't have any trust, or I don't know what it is. And then obviously we play it because we haven't played it, or obviously we played against Colchester, but it's completely different. Like even us, like we make Colchester look good. Like the last 2 games after they played us, they've lost 3-0 and 3-1, and then but it's frustrating. But yeah, thoughts on Aaron Collins, Benji? What do you make of the situation?
I like him. He's clearly a good player. I think Neil summed it up. Something just needs to go in off him, even if it's an accidental goal, and that'll just get his confidence up. I think when we watched the Colchester game, his running was great. His finishing wasn't there. But he's that sort of run between the lines, run at people, give people space up top and be a nuisance kind of player. And he's quite agile, and he does score a few goals, but he just needs that first one to go in. I agree with Neil. I think you need to persist with him in the team as well. The alternative is play someone like Evans or Thomas in behind, and I think that if you take Collins out of the team, you'll kill his confidence. I also think that it would do either Thomas or Nicholson or someone a favour to stay on the bench, because that also gives us another option. Don't think Nicholson's played at his best yet, and Thomas has had some good flashes, but one of those on the bench is a real weapon for us. But to get the right balance right, we need to leave a couple of our attacking players on the bench. And if we have, like, say, either Thomas and Saunders, or Nicholson and Saunders on the bench, those are game-changing options. You don't if you chuck them all in, and then you also leave yourselves more open because you haven't protected your back four or back three enough. So Collins is part of the solution for me. He just needs a goal, and he'll start causing some problems.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Hope he can get a goal soon. King R says Collins is Nichols version 2. It's like you said though about leaving, because we need to. Like, you can't just throw all your attacking players, because I was annoyed because I said on like last week I wouldn't start Thomas, or you could say it about either one of them, because like on the bench he brought on Coots, brought on Finley. Who else did he bring on last week?
Westbrook.
Westbrook. Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's nothing to bring on. Like, you cannot just. He's sort of playing it like FIFA. Like, just chuck or some video game, chuck all your best players on, and no tactics, nothing. Because I can't really see it. I got a comment from Jason, says, "How did the Holocaust comment come out? Don't we have a press officer to filter this out?" I don't know. It's just a shambles. I mean, I wasn't actually going to bring it up, just because I think everyone's had their thoughts on it, and it's just embarrassing. Like, you just see it everywhere. Other teams seeing it, just taking the mick out of Rovers, and it's just a shambles. Vaughan saying injuries. Yeah, I mean we've nearly got obviously Leon Clark I don't think will be playing for us again unless it's end of the season. Still got Grant to come back in. Still got a few others, but it's pretty much our strongest team now, and we're still not gelling. Obviously the main reason is because he keeps changing it, but we'll talk about it more in a minute. Martin Donovan says, "Hey lads, it'd be great to get a goal off his arse, but we had this too much last couple of years, strikers with goal droughts." Yeah, I mean, that is a fair point. Some people can you can only go on playing a player for some amount of time, but hopefully it can happen soon. But we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed for him. it can come. Why don't we give youngsters a chance? I don't know. Barton's not really the type. He's give a few players a chance, like Luca Hall, but even then he's chucked him in, chucked him out. But they should get more of a chance. Even Zane Walker, like Luca. But getting on to, I just wanted quick question to you both as well. What from Saturday? Start with you, Neil. What players? I know there weren't really many, but what players impressed you, and what players are you disappointed with from that game?
One that stands out is going to be Pittman, isn't it? As long as you can keep him scoring, you've always got a chance of getting some. I mean, he looks like he's getting a touch fitter every game. He's never gonna cover miles in a game, but leave him between the posts, leave him working the width of the 18-yard box. Don't expect too much from him. Just supply him with something. In law of averages, he will get you them 15, 20 goals. So yeah. He's the plus at the minute. Other than that, it was a pretty bleak performance. Like I said, I don't think we played well for 10 minutes in the whole game. We looked like shell-shocked and disorganised, disjointed, much like we have done for a long period. And, game's done on the hour. So, I mean, normally you can say, Belly played well for us, but even he had a bit of a stinker, to be honest. Yeah. I don't think anyone come out of Saturday looking great, to be honest. The only plus really is the Pittman thing with him getting another goal. I mean, the subs didn't baffle me, to be honest. I think really 2 of the 3 of them was damage limitation, because it could have got scary with 20 minutes left if we'd have left it how it is. Yeah. The Westbrook thing baffles me. If I'm Sean Spence, I'm scratching my head thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Because Westbrook's been told in no uncertain terms that you pretty much ain't got a future here, and he's thrown him on. And in my eyes, I don't even know what Westbrook is. I just think there's nothing there for him. He can't run. He's not a goal threat. He gives the ball away. He can't put his foot in. He don't win headers. I just don't know what he is. It might be a good player at a wrong club for him, because I didn't see a great deal of him at Coventry, but the Coventry fans seem to think that he was pretty good. But for us, it's just been a non-event for him, to be honest. He hasn't done anything that I can look at him and go, he'll do something for us, whether it be defensive or attacking. It just looks like a passenger to me. I think for Westbrook, it's best he goes somewhere else and tries again and find his feet and become some sort of player doing something for someone else, because he's no good to us, to be honest. He's, like I said, probably a lovely lad. He's probably a good player in there somewhere, but he ain't right for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, quickly, like for me, I think, like you said, you can't really say anything else other than Pittman. I thought Thomas was all right, but it's just decision making is a bit annoying. I think it will come with more games, because he has had quite a long period out of the team. But there's the chance in the first half. He's just so one-footed, isn't he? He was through on goal, because he cut in, it allowed 2 or 3 players to get back, and that really should have been a goal. That was probably other big chance other than Pittman. Even Pittman's chance wasn't. It just come out of nothing, ball over, and he just instinct turned and volleyed it. And then obviously players, like you said, Taylor, but you can't expect him to. We need other players to step up in defence. Can't always rely on someone this 19 or 20. I can't remember. It was his birthday, wasn't it, last week? But yeah, I mean, you can't always rely on him. And then, like you said, Belshaw. Yeah, I mean, but even then, you can't expect him again, to have amazing games. He's bailed us out enough times already. Kian says, all right, lads, who else is making the trip? I know Neil's going. I was actually going to go in the end, but tickets just went. I didn't realise it was only 600 tickets, because I thought there'd be more, but obviously their ground's quite small. So, but yeah, that's mad how quickly they went, though. But yeah, Neil's going. I don't think, Benji, you're not going, are you?
No, same as you, mate. I was going to go, and then I just missed out on tickets. Again, I didn't think it was set out purely because of the length of the distance. obviously it's going to be a new ground for quite a lot of people as well to tick off. But I know it's not for Neil, but yeah, it's one of those. I think that would I like to go? Yes, for the experience and the night out as well. I might get a last minute ticket if one comes up potentially, but do I want to watch Rovers lose again? Or I don't know about that. Not for that journey.
Yeah. Max is also saying, I thought we were better than against Swindon and Leyton Orient, at least. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it was sort of like half chances, wasn't it? I mean, well, saying that, there was a one where Thomas cut inside, he was running, there was a gap opened up, he should have shot, but then he cut it back, and then Nicholson just, I don't know what happened with his feet, he just got mixed up. Kai also saying Anderson needs to start hitting the gym. I don't think Paul Coots has been good enough, and Zane Westbrook needs to go out on loan to get more games. Well, no one wanted him, so that tells you a story. And even everyone at Coventry was saying he was so good, yet they got rid of him. So something was obviously up with him, whether it's attitude or they don't think he's good enough for the Championship or whatever. Rodman's still injured, got a broken foot, didn't he, in training somehow. Couldn't get, and it was his wages as well. That was the other big wages. I think he's on $4,000, which is mad. But getting on to the Barton situation. Going with you, Neil, has your views changed on Barton? Because I know you haven't really been Barton out. You've been going along with it, but has anything changed for you? What's your thoughts on it?
No, nothing's changed for me, mate. Like I said, until someone can come to me with a strategy of what you're going to do next, because shouting Barton out is all well and good, but what you do next is all I'm hearing is Barton out, Barton's got to go, Alcardi's got to get rid of him. That's great, but no one's telling me what happens next. Until you've got a strategy in place, until you've got a plan of what you're going to do of the follow-on to getting rid of Barton, because it doesn't stop at Barton. If Barton goes, then his staff go, all his backroom team go, and it doesn't matter. You could pull a name out of the hat. I mean, you want Flynn in, don't you? Yeah. Say Flynn comes in. Do you think, hand on heart, that if Flynn came in after, say he comes in after Harrogate, he will get top 3 with that squad? Will he get top 3? Because if he isn't going to get top 3, you're pissing in the wind, because you've got. What you're looking to do is get some sort of substance underneath yourself to create something. So whether we finish 17th or if we finish 10th makes no difference. We still ain't going up. So you might, and the landscape of managers at the minute is so few and far between. I mean, I think you sack him or you get rid of him or he walks away or whatever. You're still no better off. You need a concise plan, because I get what fans are saying, that they want Barton gone. That's fine. You can want Barton gone, and don't get me wrong. I'm not pro Barton and I'm not anti Barton. I'm very much pro Rovers. Do the right thing for Rovers. Yeah. But I just don't think binning him off and not having a plan what to do next. You're in the same situation as what you did with Garner, and you're bringing in someone to put a plaster over something which needs major surgery. Because let's not forget, come the end of the summer, a lot of that squad just walk away on free transfers. So what I'm saying is you might as well reevaluate it in the summer, because for me personally, it's not the be all and end all if we don't go up this year. If we don't go up this year, it's not the be all and end all. It's not the worst thing ever, So, and I think the landscape of managers, and you have a better idea of what you can do as far as a plan and get a contingency plan in place leading up to the summer. Because make no mistake about it, if we peter out into nothing, I firmly believe that Barton will walk away anyway. If we finish in the middle of nowhere, he'll just go, do you know what? I'll walk away. And that's going to be the way that it works, because I can't see Alcardi sacking him, because I don't think he's got a better option, to be honest. I think you've got to take the emotion away from it. Like after a game, R5, people are raging. They can't stand him. They want him gone. But as that board and as Alcardi, he's got an investment to look after. You can't make an emotional decision and just go, I'm sick of this. This is doing my head in. I'm going to get rid of him. Because then you scratch your head going, well, what do I do next? Do you know what I mean? You have to put a plan in place with plenty of time to create something that someone can walk into and say, right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to approach it for the next 3 years to become, I don't know, a competitive top-end League One club. And sacking Barton is right now, again, you're left looking around going, well, what do I do next? Because who's out there? Who is out there to come and take this on and get us into this top 3 to get us automatic promotion from November onwards? I mean, Flynn's not a bad manager, granted, but again, he's walked away from that for a reason at Newport. And to me, that suggests he wants a break from football. After that, you're sort of looking at, I don't know, Neil Harris is out of work, but is he going to come to a League 2 club? And I think with managers and recruitment, for me, it's very much area based. I don't think sort of bringing in northern managers and northern teams to come down south works all that well over a long period of time. Ryan Lowe's exception to the rule. He's doing brilliant at Plymouth with all his team from Merseyside, but I just think you need to be a bit more calculated about what you're going to do next after getting rid of Barton, because at the minute, like I said, all I'm hearing from fans is he's got to go, he's no good for us, get rid, the results aren't there. But no one's given me a strategy or an action plan for after it. So for me, it looks like people like us, Salford, Wrexham, they're all in the same predicament, but they're all holding their nerve because they don't know what happens next.
I mean, just one thing to counter that, done like the sort of the tactics, the game plan, other issues with him, and the fact that we're, he still doesn't know in a way to play. Like, do you know what is weird for me? I don't know if anyone else thinks this, but I think last season, right? I know obviously it's different because there's no fans, but it was like apart from a few of the games where we got battered, a lot of the games were quite tight. And even then, we sort of had there was a little direction. We were high pressing. Even when he brought Westbrook in, Westbrook was playing well, and other players were playing well, but we just couldn't score, right? And then this season, like done the fact that we're so easy to play against, 18th in the league, done anything worry you? That like even forget about top 3, just the consistency of the team, like, and the ways, tactics and everything else, doesn't it worry you?
Well, the buffer you've got, as far as it being bad, the buffer you've got is the fact that Scunny, Oldham, Colchester, Carlisle are dog awful. So you've got that buffer to say there's no way in this world we're going down, so you ain't got to worry about that. That's not critical. Going up, like I said, it ain't the be all and end all to me this season. I just think, we've not hit the ground running, and we've had some really bad performance. But you've got to understand that before Saturday, we was looking not too bad. There was little sort of minor improvements, and we was getting somewhere. And then we've sort of imploded Saturday. And like I said, Salford have got it, Wrexham have got it at the minute. All these big clubs with big expectations, with big budgets, we're not too dissimilar to them. The problem is we've got Joey Barton as our manager, and everyone wants to beat him with a stick because of who he is, because he's high profile. Like I said, if this was, people's messiah, Darryl Clark, no one would be making this much noise. It's the fact it's Barton that brings the heat on us. As far as what the outside world and what other clubs think of us, that don't bother me too much. I could take it or leave it. It doesn't affect me or the way I think, or it doesn't get under my skin, or that's irrelevant for me. But I just think you're better off just holding tight and holding your nerve like these other clubs are doing in a boardroom. But I do get what people are saying. I understand it. But on the other hand, that's an emotional decision, and they're the worst decisions to make.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly before we get Benji's thoughts, the main thing that worries me, and like I said in the video the other day, is our fixtures. Like where we could be, after the next 6 games, because we've got, obviously Harrogate 5th, got Port Vale who are 2nd, we've got Tranmere, we've got Forest Green. I just don't know. Maybe then it will change, but I don't know, because like even then we could, because Oldham have picked up of it recently.
We ain't going down. There's no way in this world that we're going down. There's too. I guarantee you, at some point along the season, someone's getting a point deduction from somewhere because there's too many clubs in turmoil.
Yeah,
we'll be safe. We'll be safe as houses regarding that. It's just getting the other end of the table. And you know what? We might hit the ground running a bit too late, or it might come good a bit too late, or it peters out into nothing and he walks away in the summer. But I just think no one's given me anything to cling on to. Say that's a better idea. That's the best thing to do. People saying, "Oh, just bringing anyone's better." That's not a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously you've made fair points there. Obviously, Benji, getting on to you now. I know you've been getting a bit angry with the situation. What's your thoughts, and what's been sort of that point that's made you just go all out?
I think firstly, I hope what Neil said about us not going down isn't famous last words, like Stan saying the wheels won't come off. I'd like Barton out of the club, but I also agree with Neil. I think that what else do you do? If you got rid of him, would we be able to tempt Flynn to a mess of a club? Because the problem isn't just the manager, that isn't just the playing staff, it's deeper than that. It's in the structure of the club, and the negativity surrounding the club hasn't stopped since 2019. You've just gone a downward spiral. If you get rid of Barton now, all of his backroom staff go, and then you've got nothing at the club. But on the flip side, I also think that Barton's his own worst enemy because he's got too much control of the club. So he's bypassed Stans to have a direct relationship with Wale, which is fine. But then he also has control over everything else, like recruitment, and he's moaning about the recruitment thing, and we haven't got a scouting team. Well, that's your fault because you got rid of Tommy Witherington and his team off the board. So there's all these sorts of problems there. In an ideal world, someone like Flynn would come in and stick it out to the end of the season, and the rest of the backroom staff would stay. That's not going to happen. There's not a chance in hell that Wales going to sack him yet, unless pressure becomes unbearable. Let's say we lose to Harrogate and then we lose to a few of the other big teams that we're playing in the next 5 or 6 games. I don't think he'll be able to withstand the pressure. But the problem is it has so many facets to it, and it's not just Barton, and it's not just his backroom team. It's the structure of the club and the things around it. I don't think we'll go down. Touch wood, we don't go down, and then it will be a rebuild job. But then, in my book, I actually think we've got a fantastic squad that is capable of challenging for the league and to get promoted. I don't think you can deny that we've got some of the best attacking people particularly attacking midfielders and wingers in the league on paper, but. Are they going to want to stay? No. Anthony Evans will go straight to League One. Nicholson will be off. Collins will probably be off as well. And then Finley's not going to last in this league. He'll go up as well. So then you lose your playing squad. So do you make a change if in a few games' time, get a new manager bounce? But apart from Flynn, there's nobody else really to come in. Maybe Sol Campbell's an outside chap from Southwell. I'm not so sure in his credentials myself. He certainly deserves a chance somewhere else. Who knows? Maybe we can tempt Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a few weeks when he gets sacked. But I just think that there's too many facets to the problem. So if you sack Barton, you get rid of the Barton problem, but then you create your other problems in terms of all the rest of his staff bugger off, and all those players that came down from the north to sign for him will be unhappy. But if you don't sack him, then there's other problems with that. So I don't think you can win in this situation. We'll probably end up sticking out for a few more games. But the other thing I will say is the longer that we persist with him and the longer that he brings this negative energy around the club and he keeps making ill-educated comments and never apologising for him, and the board sanctioning them, standing by their man, straight out of the government's copybook, that one is, the worse we're going to make it. So on that basis, I'm Barton out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, obviously, it's football is all about opinions. That's why I've sort of done this. Created this channel to get other people's opinions and thoughts, because that's what it's all about, and getting fans' thoughts, and obviously everyone commenting and stuff. Obviously, a lot of people saying as well, I can't see where we're going to get points from. I mean, this is the point now. We either against these bigger teams, because so far, whenever we played, well, obviously forget Stevenage, they're behind us. That was just shocking overall performance. But whenever we played a decent-ish team like Swindon, Orient, Newport, Bradford, I think we were lucky that they've missed a lot of chances first half and let us come onto it and completely run out of steam. But we've just not turned up, and the tactics has been wrong and so on. But it's just frustrating because you know, like you said, there isn't really, and even that Flynn's been linked to the Cardiff job. But then, like you said, what I've seen some people are trying to say to get an experience, get rid of Barton and get an experienced manager. But what experienced managers are out there? Like give someone till the end of the season, but then you just got to do it all again in the summer. Like I don't know, like what options is, you know, really, which is annoying.
I think Flynn would get a better tune out of these players than Barton because he do two things. One is set the team up properly, and two, he would take away all of the negativity which surrounds the club. And I think he's got some, particular types of players we've got. He might have some coaching work defensively to do with the outside centre backs in particular, you know, because there's a pace issue there. But yeah. I think particularly with the offensive players we've got on the midfield and the front line, I think Flynn will get a better tune out of them. But again, it's which way to go with it. There are problems with going both ways. I think he has to go personally, particularly if he loses the next game or two. But you could also, you know, argue, as Neil did very well, the other side of the coin, because there are problems with both.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, sort of the main thing that frustrates me is just the lack of tactics, and you also, like you said, also bringing this negative energy. The fan base, you know, torn and, you know, sort of against each other as well with, you know, what he's bringing to the club, and you know, but hopefully it can change. But I'm still just really annoyed that it's just the same old crap before and after games, which is annoying me, and he doesn't take no responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think. Sorry, mate. I don't think it's just negativity. I've got to clarify that it's the things that he says and does, and they're unacceptable. I know, like some people, like Neil said earlier, that you know it's easy, not easy, but you know he finds it slightly easier than others to, you know, block out the noise from the club because it's all about Rovers and doing the right thing. But then I give a bit more of a shit about things like we're a community club. That's why I love it. And you know, all this amazing work we've done with diversity and inclusion. Look at the Harrogate and 2 stuff that Kaz and Luce and the other girls have done. It all flies in the face of that. And I think we've just gone downhill with just by having him there, because it's all about Joey Barton. He's such a narcissist. I really liked the appointment at the start, and I thought his profile will raise the level if his words are as good as his actions. And I think that it's all about him in his own career. Listen to his interviews as me as a young coach, and it's all about I need to get promoted for my career, not Bristol Rovers. Apart from his first
it's nothing about the club.
It's all about him. It's a Joey Barton show. That's why he has complete control of the football club. It's Joey Barton FC, and I don't like the way it's going.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Get a better manager, better at his team. Yeah. Rob Brailsford saying he's already lost Hill and Mayer from his backroom staff. Yeah, there you go. Hill went up to Hartlepool there, top 4, unbeaten at home, you know, and there's us, just so easy to play against. Barton has to take responsibility, he just can't go in half-hearted. Kian saying what worries me is the most, I see no sign of improvement yet. But yeah, getting on to obviously Harrogate now. You know, we've obviously had a good chat, you know, good opinions from both you and everyone in the comments as well. But yeah, getting on to Harrogate, 5th in the league, a club on the up. A lot of promotions in the last few years. Obviously, Belshaw was part of them until obviously he joined us, but doing very well. One of the only few, I think 5 or 6 teams in the EFL currently haven't lost the game at home. So they're unbeaten at home. It's weird though, because like their away form, like they've won 3, drew 1, and lost 3. But like I said, the home record's really good. Scored 8 goals in their last 2 home games, smashing Scunny 6-1 and drawing with Tranmere 2-2. Score a lot of goals as well. Scored 27 goals this season. So yeah, and also I'm pretty sure they've got one of the longest serving managers in the EFL. I know obviously most of Simon Weaver, I know most of it has been out in non-league, but he's been there for like 9 years, I think, maybe even longer than that. And his dad's obviously the chairman, so they're a club on the up, and obviously not got a lot of pressure, which obviously will make a difference as well. But starting off with you, Neil, what do you make of Harrogate and the way they're doing?
I've seen a fair bit of Harrogate over playoff. I watched them win that playoff, and I've watched them at Wembley win their National League title to go up into 2. They're decent, to be honest. They're a decent club. They've been run properly as far as they've never ever had a rebuild. They've kept all their core players from the start and added to it little by little, and they've never rocketed to be anything better than what they are. They've just slowly made little baby steps in the right direction to get them where they are now, and that level of consistency's kept them ticking over to just keep getting better and better year after year. I mean, they've got players in that side that are probably, they're core players from sort of National League North and National League. I mean, you got people like Kerry, Thompson. I think Muldoon's probably the form player in the division at the minute. He's absolutely flying, Jack Muldoon. But these are all players that have come from the National League with Weaver. They've all sort of escalated with him, and that core group's done them the world of good. Pretty much the same as what we did when we had our consecutive promotions. We kept a core side, added a little bit to it here and there, and that's the way Harrogate have gone about it. They've got Falkenham, Thompson, Kerry. I mean, they got a lad, centre half, Connor Hull. I've seen him play National League North, and he'd get in our side. Their recruitment's brilliant, to be honest. The way they recruit and add to what their core sort of group, Weaver's done brilliant there, and I fully expect him to beat us on Saturday, to be honest.
It's going to be interesting. But yeah, I will go with Benji. What do you make of them this season? The way they've run. I'm not sure how much you've seen of them, but what you have seen of them, do they sort of scare you going into the weekend?
When I say I'm not scared, I'm just kind of already accepting that we're probably going to lose. Let's be honest. I think Harrogate surprised a lot of teams and people, actually. So a bit like Sutton United, who have climbed into the playoffs as well. They've gone on a fantastic run. It would be fair to say a lot of people would have bet against Harrogate and Sutton in their early season accumulators as well. I certainly did, particularly with Sutton, and it's been the opposite. Harrogate had a blistering run of form early on. And I don't think they've won in their last 3. I think it's 2 losses and a draw. They play play well. They play 4 at the back, which means we're going to have to continue with that as well. But at their own place, and like you said, I don't think they've lost there this season. I don't think there's any chance of us taking a point there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm just hoping we can get something just before my birthday as well, because usually I don't think when we've played on my birthday or around it, we haven't lost. So hopefully this can go into the game. But like you said, it's gonna have to be a really, really good showing, strong at the back, no mistakes, proper 90-minute performance, which we haven't seen. But you never know football. So hopefully, something can sort of go for us. But like Neil pointed out as well, you got Muldoon, 6 goals, 3 assists. Armstrong is another one as well, who I actually wanted us to sign him at the start of the season. He was on loan from Salford, but he was on loan at Hartlepool last season, and he got I think over 15. I think he got 18 goals, and they got him on a free, and he's their top goal scorer with 8 goals. And that's the thing with them. There's goals from everywhere. Like, even though the strikers have got 14 between them, there's goals from everywhere, and they're, like you said, they're not as solid as you would have thought. They've only conceded 4 less goals than us, but they've scored 11 more than us. So you can see why they've won games more, because they can score and the whole team sort of gets in it. And also Patterson is another one. Centre midfield, 5 goals as well. So it's going to be interesting. Mitch saying just need to sort out formation out back 4. Good to bring on the likes of Nicholson, Saunders, etc. second half. Yeah, hopefully he's back. It's annoying that obviously the press conference and Barton sometimes don't even say about injuries. Like last week, he didn't even say. But we'll see. Big up to Paul as well. Thanks for joining. Appreciate how you doing, mate. Hopefully the Gas win at the weekend. I'd love to be Harrogate's first home loss of the season, but we'll see. Chris saying Harrogate 2, Rovers 1. Big up to Barrow on tour as well. Make sure you go and check them out. They're doing pretty well, Barrow. But yeah, getting into lineups first of all, we go with Neil first. What are you hoping to see? We know obviously Barton loves a change around of the lineup, but like, do you think Barton will be going with 4 at the back this week?
No, probably not, but it's definitely what I'd do. There's no point me trying to suss out what Joey's going to do. It's just absolute mystery.
No.
2 o'clock. I've got no idea. You just look at it and cross your fingers. That's the best you can do at 2 o'clock, looking at his lineups, because you don't quite know what he's got in his head or the way he's going to approach it. For me, I think going into Harrogate again, they're going to be at it. They'll be at home. They're going to be on the front foot. They're going to get right after us, like most sides do, to be honest. And if we don't show up first half against these, this could be another one that it's long gone by half an hour into it. Our first halves are absolutely criminal at the minute. We've properly got a match Harrogate for industry and effort, winning second balls, turning them around, getting up the pitch. Because at the minute, our first halves, I mean, if they've analysed us, they'll be right out the traps against us and looking to probably win it within half an hour. I'd go as solid as you can go. I'd go exactly as what I said was our best way of winning games and getting points out of games at the minute, is being as solid as you can, staying in games and looking to get your points or win games or take something from games in the last 20 minutes when you're going through the gears. So I'd go Belly and goal, haul it right back, Kilgore and Taylor the centre half, bring Harries in at left back. Taylor's going to have to deal with another lump Saturday, and he's struggled in recent weeks, like I said, against Cook, Newport, and he's going to have Armstrong on Saturday, who's going to back into him, aerial battles, and he's got to try and get over this slump and match him. I'd go a double screen in the middle of Whelan and Finley. I'm praying Finley's fully fit and Whelan's legs haven't gone, because he's got to be in the red zone soon. They've got to be hanging off at some point. But I'm hoping he can be fit for Saturday. Play them straight in the middle with Anderson one side, Evans the other. I'd make sure when we haven't got the ball, we're nice and narrow, get them tucked in. And then I'd play Collins straight up the top with Pittman. And then that'll leave you the likes of Thomas, Nicholson, Saunders, etc. on the bench. If we're still in the game with half an hour to go on, you can slowly drip feed these lads into it and try and influence the game at the top end of the pitch late into the game, because I just think we need to be less vulnerable without the ball, so be more solid in the middle of that midfield. I don't care if the game's nice to watch, make it messy, horrible, slow it down, turn them around, be bang basic, and then look to do something in the last 20 minutes, whether it's claw it back or go and win it. That's what I'd go with. I just think that should be our approach long term. I think that's, although we've got these marquee players like Thomas, Nicholson, Saunders with load of pace, etc., Spence that can come on and do something, starting them is killing us because we're just too vulnerable.
Yeah, I completely agree. Matt's has put his lineup, gone for a 3-4-2-1. Belshaw, Hall, Taylor, Harries, Anderson, Coots, Whelan. Don't want to see Coots, but that's fair enough if you want to see Coots. Whelan, Brown, Evans, Thomas, Pittman. That's fair enough. Yeah, we're saying 4-0. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost 4-0, to be honest. Vaughan's already gone with a 1-1 draw. Bloody hell. I'd snap your hand off for a point right now. Philip Hancock's just wish I could be positive about Rovers, but I think it's nil point again this week. Yeah, same as me. Like, it's annoying because at the start of the season I was so positive. Like, I predicted us stupidly to win the league, and now I'm looking like a right muppet. And I've had people in the last few videos say, "Oh, you're so negative." Well, if you actually, I'm usually quite a positive person, but that's what happens. Like when that's how quickly it can change. But Benji, we'll go with you now. What would you start this week?
Oh, it's a tough one. I think having people like Anderson and Nicholson and Evans gives you a problem if you need to play 4-4-2, because you kind of need to have them in the team, but then you can't have them all in the team at the same time. And so I actually went with, obviously Belshaw starts. I actually had Anderson, Taylor, Kilgore and Brown at left back. I'm not as much of a fan of Harry's as everyone else. I don't see what he brings apart from delivery. I think he's lethargic and he stands off people when he's in a one-on-one situation. But his delivery is fantastic. You have to give him that. But then I kind of changed my mind to Hull. So I really don't know, if I'm honest. I think the obvious one is the two in the middle of the park have to be Whelan and Finley. I'm hoping that, as Neil said, that red zone isn't there yet for Whelan, or he's not in it. Hopefully they've gone light on him on training over the last few days, because he has had a week since his last game. And then Collins has to persist with Pittman up top. And then it's just a question of whether do you have Nicholson on one side and then have Evans do what he did against Bradford and do the KDB role and put some stuff in from the right, or do you persist with two wingers? Do you put Hall at right back and then do you play Anderson further forward, who's slightly better defensively than all of our other wingers, and he is a natural winger. I would really like to see Anderson in that right advance role. He's done well on a couple of times he's played there for us recently. That means you start Hall there as well, and then I don't think you can leave Evans out, but he's not going to play on the left, so it's just a dilemma. Perhaps he might just leave Collins out and play Evans in behind, because I don't think there's a chance that it will leave Evans out of the team. Although I think it will be very unfair on Collins. I changed my mind, but I just don't know what to play. There's so many dilemmas with your attacking players to get in the team.
Yeah, trust me, that is the main thing. Kai saying 3-1 Harrogate with Jerry losing his job. I mean, with me, I would also play 4-4-2, same as them. I wanted us to keep playing 4-4-2, but we played it against Carlisle. And then obviously played it against Bradford. But when you've got, it was all right against Carlisle because they were really, really poor. But when you're playing against Bradford, like you cannot play like Coots and Whelan together. It's because they just outrun us, and they were just honest from the first minute. Like you said, Belshaw in goal against his old club. Hopefully a nice clean sheet. But Luca Hall right back. I would play Harries with Taylor in centre back, left back Junior Brown, and then like you said, this is obviously like you both said, midfield has to be Whelan and Finley. I can't be dealing with Coots start even coming off the bench just backwards, sideways. I know, like you said, if we had more of the ball, but we don't have this season apart from Carlisle and Colchester. We haven't had the ball really for most of the game. It's mainly been the opposition. And then this is where it gets interesting. I think right mid, I would go with Anderson. Left mid, I would go Nicholson. And then I would go Evans behind Pittman. So on the bench, you could have Thomas, Collins, Spence, Westbrook, whatever. But that's the annoying thing. I still want a bit of pace, but like you said, at least then you can have Collins, who might be better as an impact sub. And Evans. I think Evans behind Pittman would be good, and then maybe you could interchange, have Nicholson behind Pittman if you wanted to, and Evans on the left. But yeah, that's what I'm going for with my predictions, my lineup predictions. Another prediction, Harry Quinn's gone for another 3-1 loss. Barton getting sacked is basically a win. But yeah, Neil, going with you first. What's your prediction? You feeling positive? Are we gonna win?
Oh no, we'll get beat Saturday. I think we'll get. It's a bit of a trend, but I could see 3-1 coming again. To be honest, I just think. Got to get our first half in order. You just got to get your house in order first half, because if we concede in the first sort of 10 minutes Saturday, it could be floodgates again. And I fully expect Barton. I don't know why he's going to do it or why he thinks it's a smart idea to do it. I still fully expect him to flood it with attacking players, and we'll just be just as vulnerable. And that'll play right into Harrogate's hands as far as I'm concerned. I'll go. Yeah, 3-1, probably, something like that.
Wow. 3-1. Benji, what about you? Are you a little bit... Can you see us getting anything? Or are you predicting a loss as well?
I'm predicting a loss. I'm also predicting 3-1 as well. I think it could be a lot more. The floodgates might open if we have another first half like we've done for the last 2, 3, 4 games. I just cannot understand for the life of me why... It's so obvious that we've been so poor in the first half. The Barton doesn't just drill them and just on that first 5 minutes and just set that intensity and that tone. for us to get at players, particularly when we're at home or we're away against a crap team like Colchester, because let's be honest, they're not that great. They were there for the taking. We let them onto us. If we do the same against Harrogate and we start with loads of offensive players without any intensity and let them at us, we're going to lose by more than 3-1, maybe even without the goal, although you would back Pittman at the moment in the form he's in to score. So I'm going 3-1. I would hope for best for a draw, a high scoring draw perhaps, but we'd have to be lucky to get that. And at worst, it's going to be 4-0.
Wow. Now with mine, I mean, to be honest, I really want to predict a decent result, but I just can't. Like you said, unless we start really well and we keep it solid for the first half, and then we can bring on players to. But the way we've been playing, especially against teams that are doing well, and Harrogate, scoring a lot of goals, they start well, very fast, balls over the top, balls in the box. I'm going to predict I'm going to go with a 3-1 loss as well. I think Pittman will get another goal, and I think you'll see Muldoon, Armstrong, and just dominate really. Hopefully, in a heart prediction, I'll say 3-2 Rovers, just for heart. But that's just never going to happen. But like I said earlier on, you never know. Got a few more coming in as well. Matt's has gone 1-1. Harry saying lucky to get a draw, I reckon. Robert Brailsford's gone for a 3-0 loss, sorry. I think it will be contested between both, well contested between both. We'll be lucky to win a corner. And another 3-1 loss from Tom. Rovers to score first as well. Barton to cry last. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking forward to this. But it's weird though. Most of the times I predicted a loss, we usually tend to do a bit better. So hopefully this can happen again. When the optimism dies, the gas rises. Let's hope so. Harry saying Glenn Whelan is one of the worst players I've ever seen. To be fair, Coots is 10 times worse than Whelan. And so is Anderton, personally. But yeah, we're gonna end it now. Like I said, hopefully we can get a better result. So the leading up to Wednesday can be an all right birthday, but we'll see. But next Wednesday I'm not depending on what I'm doing because I'm not sure because it's my birthday on the Wednesday. I'm not sure whether to do a normal video or maybe just do a preview on the Tuesday if you're both free instead. Just let me know if you're both free on the Tuesday instead, and we'll move it to then. But just keep an eye on Twitter, and you'll see when we'll do the preview. But yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Please share the stream. And yeah, thanks for getting involved and watching as well. And yeah, we'll see you hopefully with at least a better performance. Maybe even if the result isn't, but fingers crossed. You never know. But yeah, I'll try and watch the game on like VPN so I can do another reaction. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Up the gas.
Up the gas.